Welcome back to Jacob M Motorsports, and today we're in the Mark 7 GTI. As you can see here, we just filled up with some corn juice, and if you know anything about E85, then you're in the right place. E85 in a Mark 7 is a V8 killer. We already know this. We don't need the haters in the comments. We just know it's facts.
Oh my God! Wow!
So today we're going to be going over my overall thoughts of flex fuel E85 in the Mark 7 and basically what I've thought of it. We've had it for about 4 months now and it's been nothing but good to us. We are running the IE flex fuel sensor kit. We bought that directly from IE, their tuning, and it's been good. I have no complaints, so let's get straight into it. When it comes to maximizing performance and flexibility, adding E85 or a flex fuel sensor like we did to this Mark 7 GTI is a solid upgrade, and I stand behind that wholeheartedly. So we're gonna go over my experience and how the car's been. So the ability to run both hold up, we got a Subaru. So the ability to run both regular pump gas and E85 is a huge performance advantage because you don't need a separate tune to run both of them. Flex fuel, hence the name. So you can be 100 miles away from a flex fuel station, fill up with 91, and then be at your next gas station and have E85, and you can mix it and it'll accordingly blend and tune your car for that. So this is something that IE has developed, and other companies like 034. Whoever you like, go ahead and go with their tune, but adding flex fuel is such a huge gain when it comes down to performance. Now, I will put IE's horsepower and torque gains of their tuning and their dyno numbers on the screen now, and as you can see, it is a huge gain over stock. And I will compare a stock tune to the tune that we have right now. So ethanol is pretty much like a street legal race gas if you really think about it. It's high octane, and that allows your car to run higher timing, more boost, and allow the car to run a lot cooler just based on how the fuel is made. So being able to use this is just such a huge gain to turbo applications. IE allows both 91 all the way to full E85 and anything in between for your car to run on. So this makes it awesome if you're traveling and you can't find any E85, but then at the same time, if you're on 91, you can go ahead and just fill up with E85. That's how nice flex fuel is, and that's something I want to get across to you guys, and this is definitely worth the buy. One thing I will say is the smell. Everybody knows the E85 smell, whether you've been behind a Supra or another Mark 7 GTI, you know that distinct smell, and that is one of my favorite smells ever to come out of a car. So that's what you'll get also with this, and we are running a catless downpipe. So that's more of the reason why you would smell this. Now I also want to point out that if you are running E85, your gas consumption will go down. So don't think switching over is going to get you any better gas mileage, even if you aren't ripping on it. It burns a lot more fuel, and it requires a lot more fuel to make the power that E85 will deliver. So if you are expecting to try to get gas mileage out of E85, then I wouldn't get your hopes up. But it is 100% worth miles per gallon to me. Now we found that running a blend around E30 to E50 is the most optimal blend that this car will take. Now we tried full E85 and we ran into an EPC Light. Now I was thinking that we had the EPC Light because of the ethanol content. Now maybe the car couldn't fully take the E85, so we started experimenting and we found that E30 to E50, like I said, is the best punch and power delivery of this car, and we haven't experienced that light again. Now let me know if you guys have experienced the EPC Light on full E85. Now most of the time you're not going to be on full E85, you're going to be at like E60, E70, but I think we had an empty tank and we did full E85, and it kind of threw some stuff off. But don't let that scare you, because I don't think that's the case on all applications. We may have just had a little gremlin, but if you guys have experienced that, let me know. So we're gonna go ahead and go for a rip, and I'm basically just gonna take you guys along with me. I'll show you our ethanol content, and I'll show you how the car feels. So another cool thing about integrated engineering is if you press the set button, it'll show you how much ethanol content you have in your car. So we're at like E50 right now, almost E60. So that's a great sign. Like I said, E30 to E50 is a good blend. Just hitting the freeway on some E50 feels like a train just pulling. Like before, the stock setup on the IS20, it would pull, don't get me wrong, it would do pretty good, but the torque curve would drop significantly. Now I heard that flex fuel on the IS20 is pretty good. It gives the power band a little more curve, but since we already upgraded to the IS38, we're getting the full amount of sauce that you can get with a stock turbo. We'll do a little rolling. Perfect amount of street manners and track manners, because we do go to the track and we daily drive it. So you have two things right there that are perfect, and that's pretty much what you want. So this is probably about how I dynoed it, and I'll put the numbers, their dyno numbers, on the screen again. But it was like 420, I believe, horsepower. So that's probably crank. So it's probably around high 300 wheel. So that's super good street manners. And now we do plan on upgrading to a bigger turbo. Now the only downfall about that is you'll be limited to E30. You won't be able to do a flex blend because of the size of the turbo we want to go with. It's nice to have the IS20 and the IS38 for flex fuel because they tune for that, and it's completely acceptable. It won't hurt your car. It is completely fine, and that's why it's available, flex fuel. So, but overall, I think it's a really good performance gain if you are already full bolt-ons and you want that little more power, and it's pretty substantial, and I really think it's a good upgrade. For me, this car is the perfect entry-level budget track and street car. You get turbo, every kid wants a turbo, every guy wants a turbo. You get the sound, you get a dual clutch transmission, almost like a Porsche PDK transmission, if you're familiar with that. I mean, this is in its own subcategory, but you get a basic dual clutch transmission that is tunable, it holds power, it's fast at shifting. Like, you get all that for a cheaper price. All right, this is a perfect example. We just went for a little drive and we already wasted a gallon. So that's how you know E85 burns a lot more than 91. So in all, we used about 3 gallons of gas just on that little back road journey. And that's how you know this uses a lot. But don't let that scare you. It is super fun. And as you can see from the video, super powerful, fun in the canyons, and overall a good driving experience with this car on ethanol. So if you guys are contemplating going ethanol, I just want to tell you it's 100% worth the $200 cost, and that includes the tune from IE. So definitely do it. It'll wake your car up and it'll make it feel amazing.